This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner announces today is her last day on the job, just hours before she was due in court. Tonight, an exclusive interview with Attorney General Andrew Bailey on what's next and the governor's plan to replace her. When Kim Gardner announced she was resigning earlier this month, she said her last day would be June 1st. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Those plans suddenly changed just a few hours ago. We have team coverage tonight. Political editor Mark Maxwell spoke to Governor Parson. But first, Christine Byers, who talked to the Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey just 30 minutes ago. Christine.
And when Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey woke up this morning, he had no idea he would be in charge by the Circuit Attorney's Office before the end of the day. And arguably, neither did Kim Gardner. But that's exactly what happened after her sudden announcement. Gardner emailed Governor Parson today stating her resignation is effective immediately. In a public statement, she announced she had worked with St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney Wesley Bell to ensure a, quote, smooth transition. Bell's attorneys were downtown today, ready to take over cases immediately. But they were caught off guard by Gardner's abrupt decision to step down. Only the governor can appoint a replacement, and he plans to appoint someone by the end of the week. The governor said today, in the meantime, the Attorney General's office, not Wesley Bell, will be managing the Circuit Attorney's office. AG Andrew Bailey announced Deputy Attorney General Bill Corrigan has been appointed to immediately start clearing the backlog of cases until the governor appoints a new circuit attorney. I spoke with Bailey just moments ago, and he said priority number one is getting warrants issued when police apply for charges.
Today is a major win for the people of the city of St. Louis and this entire region to restore the rule of law and find justice for victims. And we're never going to stop fighting to achieve that objective. And we want whoever the governor appoints to be successful and have assets ready in place now to assist with that.
Now, Bailey tells me he is not planning to make any immediate personnel changes in the office, but I asked him about that controversial exclusion list, which Gardner put together, banning certain police officers from bringing cases and charges to her office that she found not to be credible, and she would never share those reasons publicly. Well, Andrew Bailey tells me the Attorney General's office doesn't have an exclusion list. Live outside Gardner's former office in downtown St. Louis, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
As Christine alluded to, Missouri Governor Mike Parson plans to name Gardner's replacement by Friday. 18 people have applied for the job. 5 on your side's Mark Maxwell continues our team coverage. He talked with the governor today about how that process is going. Mark.
Mike, that process is going into overdrive. Initially, Governor Parson had several weeks to vet and interview candidates before landing on that one. But now that Kim Gardner has pulled the ripcord, he has until the end of this week to make a final call.
When the doors closed at the end of business Tuesday night, the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's office was vacant. Governor Mike Parson said Kim Gardner's sudden departure escalated his timeline to pick her replacement.
With the resignation today, that changes the scenario somewhat. We will advance that pick. Hopefully by this Friday, I'll be able to pick that person.
Before making his final choice, Parson met with faith leaders in St. Louis.
We were very blunt. We were very direct.
Reverend Darrell Gray said the next prosecutor should understand the city's culture and history.
We stressed that we thought it should be an African American. We didn't think it should be anybody who's already announced that they're going to run. And so I think that based upon all the concerns that we have, I believe the governor shares those concerns.
But when Parson met the press later that afternoon, he stressed he wanted to keep his options open.
We listened to that. Everybody has an opinion up here. There's different groups up here that would like to have their person in that position.
In a statement, Mayor Tashara Jones, who also met with Governor Parson, quote, re-emphasized that the appointment should serve as a caretaker for the office who can make much-needed changes without the distraction of re-election politics in 2024. But once again, Parson said that would not necessarily disqualify people who applied for the job.
Whether they're Democrats, whether Republican has no bearing. Whether they run for office again has no bearing. That's up to them.
Despite a last-minute maneuver from Kim Gardner to hand the reins to St. Louis County Circuit Attorney Wesley Bell, Parson said his Attorney General would run the office for the rest of the week.
I want to be clear when I talk about the Attorney General's office is in an assist mode. So, I need to be very clear of that we're not going in there to take over that office. That's not our job.
Parson also commended the sheer volume of people, candidates applying for the job and community groups who have stepped forward to offer their help. While he can only pick one person to sit in that hot seat, the top job there, it might take assistance from some or all of those groups in one way or another to right the ship in an office sagging under the crushing weight of enormous caseload. Reporting downtown, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
And we will continue to stay on top of Kim Gardner's departure. Look for updates on KSDK.com and on the 5 on your side app. And we're going to have a roundtable discussion with our legal analysts. That's coming up at 6:30 on 5+. New at 6, the $49 billion budget sitting on Governor Mike Parson's desk right now includes some big wins for education in Missouri.
It's everything from higher salaries to early education expansion. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay joins us in studio. Mercedes, what are the details?
Mike and Ann, according to the National Education Association, Missouri is ranked 47th when it comes to minimum teacher salaries. The state is about $4,000 away from being dead last in the country. Educators hope with the governor's signature, Missouri can finally be competitive.
I go back to when I started, and it was barely $20,000 to start.
Matt Zoff spent the last 25 years of his life shaping Missouri kids.
When you get into education, you know you're not going to be the highest paid in the world.
But like many, Zoff believes teachers don't get back as much as they give.
The whole world's changing, and if salaries don't change, education's going to fall behind.
That fall could be broken by the billion-dollar budget on Missouri Governor Mike Parson's desk, which would raise the baseline teacher salary to $38,000. 100% of that salary completely funded by the state. A huge win for Zoff's small district in Jefferson County.
It allows us to compete with the bigger schools. It's a great thing for us. It will definitely help us.
Paul Ziegler with Education Plus is hopeful this boost will help the drying up pipeline of teachers.
If I'm a high school senior and I'm thinking about what I want to pursue in college, and I look at being a teacher and I think my starting salary could have been $25,000, it's not real appealing.
But over 10 grand more starting out is a step in the right direction for Ziegler.
When we look regionally, we need to be competitive with those states around us, and we haven't been.
Another portion of the budget includes millions of dollars towards expanding pre-K. Ziegler says studies show preschool increases school readiness, decreases incarceration rates, and is great workforce development.
We know there's a workforce shortage across the region. Part of that oftentimes is good, reliable childcare. And preschool provides some of those options for our parents.
While everyone may not agree with everything that came out of the Capitol this legislative session, educators across the state can agree on one thing.
They've definitely taken care of education, and I'm sure every educator in the state appreciates what they're doing.
The preschool expansion would also benefit free and reduced lunch students. Right now, the budget just needs the governor's signature. He is allowed to veto parts of it.